What's up, YouTube? This is your girl, Megan. Welcome back to my channel, to all of my returning cousins. However, if this is your first time joining me on today, welcome to the Hood Astro Queen. It is here that we use information from celestial bodies to help us gain a better understanding of our favorite celebrities, world events, but most importantly, our damn selves. So go ahead, subscribe to become part of the family. Thumbs up this video to grow the channel, and click the notification bell so that way you will be alerted whenever I make a new post. And then finally, if you are interested in booking your very own natal chart reading, contact me at astrowerld, that's Astro WERLD, at gmail.com, and we can get you squared away on today. Now, as you can see, I am coming to you guys once more with yet another celebrity birth chart reading, this time on none other than Playboi Carti. Now, I got a lot of requests that says to do this reading, okay, and this is because I did a reading in my prior video on his baby mama, Igloo Azalea. And so essentially, I'll just be going over Playboi Carti's chart just to see if there is any truth to any of these allegations that Miss Igloo Australia has laid before us. So Playboi Carti was born September 13, 1996 in Atlanta, Georgia, which would place his sun at the 20th degree of Virgo, but he would also be a later degree Virgo moon, all right? And this is very interesting just because when we talk about Virgo men, they tend to be kind of feminine. Not all Virgo men, but a lot of them can, especially when we're talking about sun conjunct the moon like that. This is also reinforced with his Venus at the 6th degree of Leo conjunct his Mars, okay, at that 2nd degree. Now, Venus conjunct Mars, especially in a sign like Leo, could point towards Playboi Carti's noticeably effeminate style of dress, but it suggests that he usually chooses to do so for attention. So these are people who could dress very, boldly, flamboyantly, and in his case, very effeminate. This is also reinforced with his Mars at the 2nd degree of Leo. That number 2 is a very feminine number, but so is the number 6 as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But also, you could look at this Venus, Mars, and Leo, this conjunction here, as him literally living up to his name. Like, this could actually represent his name, quite literally. Playboi Carti, okay, as Mars tends to deal with the person's name, and Venus conjunct Mars in Leo can create a guy who is like a ladies' man, all right? A guy who has a very difficult time limiting his options. A guy who is known for playing the field. And typically when we talk about men with their Venus and Mars and Leo, these are men who, number one, are hypersexual. So a lot of times they're driven by their urges, their sexual urges. But they also are drawn towards women who they can show off. Like, they can be very superficial in the type of women that they like, and they really enjoy receiving attention from women. So, I mean, these men literally kind of drift wherever they're getting the attention from. So as far as expecting them to be faithful, especially if they're the types to have money, good luck with that. Good luck with that. And this was also very reminiscent of Iggy's chart, because Iggy just so happens to be a Leo South node. So right away, there is a lot of karma in the sense that, these are the type of men that she tends to attract. Okay, these are the type of men that she tends to check for. And it's going to come with a lot of drama. You could even look at that Venus conjunct Mars in Leo as a man, right, in a man's chart where he has women fighting and competing with one another over him, where there's always some sort of drama regarding his love life. So that is a hot mess in and of itself. But you could also look at this conjunction as him being extremely childish. Once again, as his name would suggest, Playboi Carti. Okay, so he's clearly a big man child with that conjunction there. You know, these are men who, I mean, think with their penises and are very juvenile in their approach to relationships, very juvenile in the way that they assess their relationships with women. And once again, taking it back to Iggy Azalea and that Leo South node that she has, she attracts men who, I mean, she may go for men who are younger than she is, which is very true to this situation because she's like 30, I believe, while he is 24 or 25. But it could also just even symbolize her attracting men who are just very childlike, just childlike in the head. So you thinking that it would be a good idea to have a kid with a man who operates like a kid, I'm not really understanding where that, like, I don't get it. But, you know, then again, Iggy Azalea herself could also be very naive and childlike herself with that South Node. But anyhow, Carti's Venus and Mars are also opposing his Uranus at the 0 degree of Aquarius, which could also suggest and very much correspond with some of what Iggy has been describing as this could be a man or a person who is just very detached from their children, to be quite honest. Okay. You could also look at this opposition as him objectifying women as well and being yet another reinforcing factor of just his inability to be a family man in its most traditional sense. Him being able to be in a relationship, a functional relationship, but also, okay, especially with that Mars in opposition to Uranus, this could be a queer indicator in terms of his sexuality. So can the fact that he's born on the 13th, because that number 13 breaks down to 4. 4 is, I mean, the number of the LGBTQ. You know, so I just, you know, things to make you go, And then finally, Playboi Carti is an Aries South Node with his Saturn at that 5th degree, okay, conjunct his South Node at the 8th degree, which can make him incredibly selfish, incredibly inconsiderate, incredibly just self-centered, really, and, you know, self-serving. And when you take that Saturn and you oppose it to his Chiron at that 15th degree of Libra, which is also conjunct his North Node, I mean, that's another really bad omen in terms of his ability to maintain harmonious long-term relationships, him being able to connect with the opposite sex. It could also deal with him being extremely hypersexual in terms of that Saturn conjunct that Aries South Node and just reinforce a lot of that energy in terms of him having a difficult time practicing self-control. It could also make him a hothead. I wouldn't be surprised, as I mentioned in the Iggy Australia video, right, that, I mean, their relationship could be extremely toxic. It could be everything from verbally abusive to physically abusive. That's also reinforced with his Saturn opposing that Mercury at the 29th degree of Virgo. Sir's not quite wrapped too tight in the mind, okay? He also gives me very fickle vibes, which is also denoted with that Sun conjunct Moon in Virgo. And so is Igloo Australia, for that matter, because she is a Gemini sun herself. So I could just naturally see where their relationship is, you know, back and forth. This is ever changing, lots of arguing, incessant picking at one another, that kind of thing, right? So, and then most importantly, his Jupiter is at the 7th degree of Capricorn and it's squaring his nose. So specifically with it squaring his Libra North Node and that Chiron, you can look at this as what Iggy was referring to when he made the decision to do his album release party as opposed to spending the holidays with his family. This can create a person who is very serious about their career and very serious about like their ambitions and making sure that they reach their goals, that they will be willing to sacrifice all personal relationships. So these are people where even when it comes to like their friends and things like that, like there's no such thing as getting too close to these people. All right. Even with his Venus conjunct Mars in Leo, like you can look at that as him working in the music industry, but he's super competitive and he's somebody who will literally, do what he has to do to get to where he has to go, even if it means throwing your child to the wayside. So, I mean, hey, you can't make this stuff up. So, a lot of what Iggy has alleged, I mean, it holds true in his chart. I really don't know what else to say. People are feeling really bad for her, but I don't. So, I mean, I'll leave it up to y'all at this point. Y'all drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about the reading. What do you think about Mr. Playboi Carti, Igloo Australia in their charts? And make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. And yeah, until the next video, I holla. Bye-bye.